Hey guys, this is Miss Stam, and today we're going to talk about Newton's third law of motion. We've already talked about the first law, which is the law of inertia, the second law, which deals with force and acceleration, and now the third law, which is the action-reaction law. And what Newton's third law says is that for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. So in this picture, we have an example of a guy in a rowboat. So as he rows, he pushes the water away, and then the water pushes him in the opposite direction. So we have a chair example which says that according to Newton, whenever objects A and B interact with each other, they exert forces upon each other. When you sit on your chair, your body exerts a downward force on the chair, and then the chair exerts an upward force on your body. So this is an action-reaction relationship. There are two forces resulting from this interaction, a force on the chair and a force on your body. These two forces are called action and reaction forces. The action force is you sitting on the chair, and the reaction force is the chair pushing up on your body. We can also see Newton's third law in nature. So here we have some fish swimming in water. As the fish uses its fins to push the water backwards, the water then reacts by pushing the fish forward. This propels the fish through the water. The size of the force on the water equals the size of the force on the fish. So whatever force that fish pushes back on the water is equally going to propel the fish forward. The direction of the force on the water is backwards, and it is opposite to the direction of the force on the fish, which is forwards. All right, we also have a bird example. Now, birds depend on action-reaction forces to make it possible for them to fly. So they depend on this third law of motion. As the birds push down on the air, so they push down on the air with their wings. The air then pushes their wings up, and it gives them their lift, enabling them to fly. We also have a baseball example. So you have a baseball that forces the bat to the left here, which is the action. The reaction is the bat forcing the ball then to the right. If you have a car example, you can think of the motion of a car on the way to school. So the car has wheels that spin forward, and as the wheels spin, they grip the road and then push the road backwards, which propels the car forward, enabling it to move. Here are a few other examples to look at. Here's a volleyball example. As the volleyball pushes down on the player's hands, their reaction is to then force the volleyball back up. The same thing with the football. As the football pushes down on the foot then reacts and kicks the ball. And then right here we have, as the air is forced out of the balloon or flows out of the balloon, you know what happens. You let air out of a balloon and it flies off. And then lastly, we have a picture of this yacht. As the propellers push the water backwards, the water also pushes the boat and propels it forwards. And one last example is the rocket example. The reaction of a rocket is an application of the third law of motion. Various fuels are burned in the engine, and they produce these hot gases. Those hot gases then push against the inside of the tube of the rocket and escape out the bottom of the tube. As the gases are moved downward, the rocket then moves in the opposite direction, which allows it to go off into space. So just to review the basics, forces work in pairs. Forces are equal and opposite. So to sum up Newton's third law, it is for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.